Hey guys, Mandela from Wheels Up. Today we're just going to be talking about one of the tours that we'll be offering. It's called the Queen City. We see a lot of people who drive into our town and they look around and they see our beautiful architecture and they know that there's some history here. So what we're going to be doing today is just walking you and just showing you around town. We'll start with our beautiful building here. This was built in the late 1890s. It's been a lot of things. It used to be a pharmacy, so people sold, they sold pharmaceuticals here. It's also been the Kaufman dress shop. A lot of people who will probably watch this can remember when this whole mall used to be a big shopping area. People bust in from all over the state to visit and shop here. It's also been a coffee shop, and now it's going to be our adventure hub. So I hope you will stop by and check it out. Across the street over here, 81 Baltimore Street, is called the Lila Building. This building used to be the Third National Bank. So at one point, this also used to be the largest financial institution in all of Maryland. The cool thing I think about this building is there is a vault, and this place used to be a fallout shelter. So during the Cold War, I guess they would ring the alarm and people would run in there to hide and make sure they didn't get nuked. There's a lot of other stuff that we're going to talk about on this street, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it. But let's head over here because I want to show you some other really beautiful stuff that I don't know if a lot of people. Nice car. This mall, there were plans in the 70s about putting a closed mall in here, but I think most of the business owners wanted war was in vogue and they wanted to compete with the up and coming town called LaVale, which was down the road from here. But so this was put in together and it was commissioned, and two things I'll show you is when you come over here, if you Google old classic pictures of Cumberland, if you look here, you can see all the way up here, you see Emmanuel Episcopal Church that is located at the site of Fort Cumberland, after which this city was named. This city was named after the Duke of Cumberland, who's I believe the prince, of the British king at that point. And Fort Cumberland, the city was named after the fort that was built by General Braddock, and so that's where Cumberland got its name. It also used to be called Walnut Bottom. You could Google why it was called Walnut Bottom. But I want to show you this beautiful building over there. There you go, sir. This beautiful building over here. I believe this used to be called the Rosenbaum Building. So there used to be some great shopping over here. Like I said, people would come from all across the city, all across the state, to shop here. And Schwarzenbach. Right now, that's the Allegheny Culinary Cafe. So the local community college, you can come here, and the students, they fix you up some great food. There's a lot of eateries over here. I'd be remiss to not shout out Baltimore Street Grill right there. Our neighbor, they make I love their gumbo. The gumbo is to die for. So stop and grab. What's up, Tim? How you doing, man? So yeah, sometimes when you come to town, you could see some characters, some people hanging around. I encourage you guys, you're safe, they're harmless. People have a thought that this place is not safe. This is a very safe place. Come around, look around, have a great time. So go walk, and we're going to check out some more of Center Street. So Center Street here, there's the Art Council. So sometimes they always have a lot of great exhibitions. So make sure you stop by and check out what they're doing. They have an art show. They have an artist walk where you can walk around and you can check out actual artists in their studios. Great places to eat over here. So we have a new French restaurant that just came online. It's called My Scene Place here. They have outdoor seating. Great French cuisine. It's a beautiful Art Deco on the side. And the Art Council is closed today, but they usually have their hours on the door, and they just have great art, great stuff to see. So over here is Otto Viani's, the Italian restaurants. They have outdoor seating. This COVID times is something that we all. And the Seoul House Korean restaurant. So like I said, great cuisine. So we're going across the street and we'll walk over. And so some of the architecture you see. So like stained glass windows. So some of the other things about Cumberland is that there's a lot of American Indian history. This land used to be owned even before white settlers by the Shawnee Indians who used to hunt here, and there's been artifacts found from that period. There's also Algonquin Indians who used to live here. There's a story of Indian Will, who is said that Will's Creek, one of the things that makes this place so popular, that gave Cumberland its rise, is because of the confluence of Will's Creek and the Potomac River. And a lot of people from George Washington all the way to Thomas Jefferson have always thought that link can provide a route to the Ohio Valley. From the purchase of the Louisiana Purchase, we had to get people all the way and go out west. So Cumberland used to be the western border of the British Empire. So over here, there's always that used to be a scary lady that used to lurk out here. So over here is our city hall. This was rebuilt. This was rebuilt in 1911. So the cool thing about this building, it does have a mural in there of 2 of the 4 times that George Washington came and visited Cumberland. The first time he came as it's called an aide-de-camp to General Braddock during the French and Indian Wars. And the second time is 40 years later when he came. I imagine him on a white horse. He's always on a white horse. He came during the Whiskey Rebellion when we mountain people were hoarding our moonshine. So those murals were done by Gertrude de Blue. I think that's how you say her name. And she was the daughter of a Persian artist, and they did a lot of work all across Cumberland. The Masonic Temple that you can see from the interstate, as well as the courthouse on Washington Street. But yeah, so when you come, hopefully we can walk in there and you can check out the murals. It's real beautiful. So we'll walk across. So right there, that's Frederick Street. Frederick Street has a lot of history. Frederick Street takes you over the bridge and it takes you where you can see the Metropolitan AME Church, one of the standards for African American Episcopal churches in the area, and a lot of the history. It also takes you to where the Carver School is. It was the first African American minority school in the area, and people came from all over Kaiser, Piedmont, and they attended that school over there. So there's a Frederick Street, there's a African American heritage down there. One of the buildings down here, there's this word that there used to be a pump house school where there used to be an African American school right before they went over and they built Carver. This road takes you out. If you stay on this road, it's going to take you all the way to the Narrows, what we call the Narrows, where you can see Lover's Leap State Park on the right-hand side and the Great Allegheny Pass. Most of you probably came down that way if you're riding your bikes or you're going to go up that way. But over here is the Chamber of Commerce, the Bell House building, what's left of it. Like I said, this was rebuilt after a fire, and this used to be, the Chamber of Commerce used to be the city jail, I think, and the police station. And now, that's the city police station, and I'm pretty sure the jail is in there too. So I'm sure it's much more comfortable today than it was back then. But walking down, beautiful park. Again, I think this is a public building, so we should be able to go inside and check out the murals. I hear like during the holidays, during Christmas, the decorations in this place are just amazing. That's what I hear. I haven't seen it, but it's on my list for this Christmas. So we're going to walk over. We're going to go to Liberty. Look at that beautiful architecture here. So right here on Liberty Street, the Cumberland Arms. That used to be a super huge hotel. So as you can imagine, this place, Cumberland, was put on the map because it was a transportation hub. The B&O Canal, the C&O Canal, the B&O Railroad, the C&O Canal. There was a lot of people that moved all the way from here. There were coal mines in Georges Creek all towards Frostburg. So there was just the armory. There was a lot of stuff that happened here. So this was a big hotel, and this would have been like a really nice place, where everybody wanted to stay. But I want to point out to you guys, Curtis famous Venus. This place has been around since 1918 in one form or the other. People still drive from all across the state. People who grew up here, who their parents grew up here, they still come here to grab a hot dog and grab a burger or drink. The person who runs the owner right now is Gino, a character of Cumberland. So whenever you stop by, please stop by and say what's up to Gino. Say the guys from Wheels Up sent you. There's a lot of activity, like on a Friday. They used to do what was called Friday After 5. So some of these roads are closed off, and we usually have a band that's playing music on our stage. As we approach the now BB&T building, this is the Second National Bank. Or it used to be the Second National Bank. It was built designed by Bruce Price, he was a local architect. He did work like the Hotel Frontenac in Quebec, and he also built the Emmanuel Episcopal Church Parsonage right there on Washington Street. But some of the cool things about this is it had a Romanesque and Byzantine design style. Actually, the cool thing about all of Cumberland is it's almost like there was a display of wealth, and it doesn't have just one style of buildings. Like if you went to Europe or something, there's just different styles of buildings all across. Building right next to the sign, what you're going to see is a unique, is the lions. You see the sculptures of the lions right on top of the door, right there. So we'll get close and you can take a look at it. One of the cool things for people who are looking for business opportunities, there's some fantastic, great real estate in Cumberland. Like the Manhattan building over here.
How are you?
So another great place to eat when you're in town is City Lights. City Lights has some great cuisine, and they have some outside seating. How you guys doing? Hello.
Enjoy the beautiful day.
Thank you.
Hey,
So up here, just look at this architecture, man. This is just wonderful. It's beautiful. I'm speechless about this sometimes. But the funny thing is, this building was listed not too long ago for, I think, $1.2 million. Not $1,200, $1.2 million. So if I had money in the bank, if this was in Frederick or Washington or somewhere else, I can't even imagine the millions of dollars that would be listed for. But for us, the funny thing is, this used to be the Second National Bank. The building right next to it, the Lilac building, used to be the Third National Bank. And you wonder, where was the First National Bank? These national banks were put in place to help manage our currency. Back then when we had a lot of debt from the Revolutionary War, or when we just had so many different bills going around. The Second National Bank was chartered by Congress to be able to stabilize that. So I think that's super cool that farmers from all around the area would have to come here to get cash or exchange cash. I mean, there's just so much stories here. So we're going to walk down a little bit. Again, some little cool stores just all across the area. You can walk this little loop and stop by and talk to people, and they'll tell you all the stories. Again, I think I'm going to get me most of this area is the cool thing about most downtowns. What kills, in my opinion, a lot of downtowns is all this car traffic. But when you have commercial stuff and residential on the top, so most of these buildings have some level of residentials. Like you look at that, you can see a nice. If you look up here, you can see the nice library over there. Just a beautiful view, to be in the city like this. Nice, beautiful alleys, a lot of brick buildings. So for birders, this is another great place. I just hear all the birds singing. Right on the Great Allegheny Pass, all that area brings a lot of birds and wildflowers. So we're thinking about putting a tour together for bird watching and wildflowers, and just being a tour being given by local experts. If that's something you're interested in, let us know. Drop a line in the comments. Is the Be'er Sha'ain synagogue. We have a pretty good Jewish community here, and so this synagogue is the longest operating synagogue, Reformed Jewish synagogue in Maryland. So I think this was purchased by a few families, and there's been a few congregations that have come together to keep this going. But it's a beautiful place. So when you come, you could always use our signs and check it out, and figure out where you need to go. But usually, the shop is just down the road here, and if you have questions, just fall back and let us know. We're not going to go this way, but I want to point that building is the Cumberland Armory. I think even people used to come and train over there. So I just picture Police Academy, and this back in the 20s where you have squadrons of cadets just jogging around in white t-shirts and shorts and stuff. Now you can have events here, and they used to have events there. I think they had Miss America pageant there at one point. Again, it's just telling you how much history this place has. I can't even just picture what this place used to be, 70 years ago. One thing I want to point out is that the building by the police station there, that used to be a patch of land that was owned by one of the signers of the Bill of Rights. His name escapes me, but I'll get that to you at the end. But one of the signers of the Bill of Rights used to own that land. So if we walk this way, right here is the Allegheny Museum, right here, and they have a great exhibit. It's one of those places where you can just spend hours there. So a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but you can walk right into that building, and then in this second floor and the top floor, there's a lot of stuff to do. There is a escape house that's around there too. So it's a great place to, you see exhibits from, old, CNO history and just Cumberland history in total. So we're going to walk towards Canal Place now. Another great place to eat great pizza. Uncle Jack's. So sometimes they have live music here. Good place to come hang out. Yeah, beautiful Cumberland architecture. So from here, you can see that there's the Cumberland train station over there, and that area is called Canal Place. We'll check it out in a few minutes. So a great cafe to grab a coffee is Mark's Cafe down here, and over there you see is the Embassy Theater. So that's one of the remaining old school theaters around. The capacity used to be 500 people. I think there are people who visited and performed, like Tom Mix. I don't know who he is, but I hear he's popular. And I believe it used to be a dress shop for a little bit, but they kept it pretty original, and it was restored, and it's as close to how it used to be. I don't think it has the balcony seatings anymore, but it's just a beautiful place. They still have plays there, and it's a place you want to check out. So now we're going to head to this side. The C&O Canal just comes right off the trail, and you can literally, check out the downtown from there. Right now, there's no biking, but there's some work. There's some stuff that's happening with that trail, with that street, where there's a revitalization, and a lot of changes are coming for this road. The Great Allegheny Pass, and once you get to downtown, the Canal Place, that takes you to C&O. So this road takes you all the way to Pittsburgh. This road takes you to Cumberland, to Washington, D.C. So I love this location because this location to me kind of just points out what Cumberland was. This used to be all the trains, all the train traffic that used to be here, a great busing system. And if you look at the waterway here, so this is about where the Potomac River confluences with Wills Creek. So Green Street, which is the street over there where this car is coming from right here, Green Street that turns that way. Green Street used to be the place where a few miles from here, the character called Indian Will, who supposedly this could be named after a lot of the other Indians left, him and his family, they still established here. And the character Thomas Cressup put a trading post around here, and I think even the wigwams and all that stuff used to be around Wills Creek. So just think about this place wild, and there used to be a lot of Indians, and just a lot of history here with trains and cars and all that stuff. And so Fort Cumberland used to be here. So if you just think about back in the day, if you look up here, and there was Fort Cumberland. Again, this was protecting us against the moves by the French and I guess the Spanish, who were trying to come this way while America was trying to expand west. Ebenezer Episcopal Church, when you guys come to our tours, we're going to check out the Underground Railroads. The church was built on the site of Fort Cumberland, which had tunnels under it. Those same tunnels were used by slaves, as part of the Underground Railroad. This place was known as Shanty Town, and there were a lot of, bars and, I'm thinking prostitutes, and this must have been a crazy place back then. But so much history here, so much history in Ebenezer Episcopal Church and the Masonic Temple. So we're going to walk over there just real quick. Just check out that view. Beautiful fishing here. We're gonna be doing some. We rent kayaks too, so we have some put-ins where you can go in, and it's full water, so it's great. So obviously the fort is no longer here, but as you go up Washington Street, if you look on the road, you see patches that show the location of where the fort used to be. But you think back in the day, this used to be, where they could check out and watch out for people from the British and from the French Empire. Over here is George Washington's cabin. They do have a visitor center, and they do give tours, so it's worth walking out there. So another cool thing about this Emmanuel Episcopal Church is that it does have Tiffany stained glasses in there. So pretty cool stuff to see. But we're going to check out George Washington's cabin, see if maybe we'll see him in there. This takes you to Green Street, some great coffee shop. Check out Base Camp Coffee Shop down the road here. It's going to be on the left. Great coffee. So here is the monument for the beginning of 1811, the National Road. This road became Route 40, and this is the first federally funded road in the United States. So this is where it started. Right next to it is George Washington's headquarters. So how about we just walk around and see? The National Road was generally built on the trail, the supply trails that supported this fort. So some of the roads on which supplies were moved from, Baltimore all the way down here, that's what became. The thing is, George Washington understood that, or at least he thought that he could use the C&O Canal and be able to transport goods and services and people all the way across to the Ohio Valley River and beyond. I think he even wanted to take it all the way to the Atlantic. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out too great, and the train system won that race. Over here, you see the Blue Bridge. The Blue Bridge kind of it is the border between Maryland and West Virginia. So if you go across that bridge, you're in West Virginia. Hey, George Washington's home. Hey, buddy. That's a beautiful view of the that. So again, the train station, if you're here in September or usually close to the fall, there's a race put on by Mountain Maryland Trails, and you get to race the train. So the train goes up to Frostburg. I think that's about 12 miles, and you get to get up there faster than the train. This is the third year that's happening. This will be the third year. Great event. I invite you. You can go as an individual or as a team. All the proceeds go to the Mountain Maryland Trails that takes care of the Great Allegheny Pass. Yeah. So as you can see, this is just beautiful, and there are places you can put into the river, and you can go all the way down. Now, if you look across, that's the Footer Dye building. That building used to be much bigger than that. It's a historical preservation site. That used to be the location of one of the biggest dyeing and dry clean. I guess it's like a dry cleaning and dyeing building operation. They had branches all over the place in Baltimore and Philadelphia. So this was a huge operation. They hired about 500 people at that time. So it was I think the new way of dry cleaning kind of put them out of business. But the Footer Dye building, that's where we're going to end the tour, and you're going to check out one of our local breweries called Dig Deep. I would recommend you don't jump the tracks like we do. This is called Canal Place. Sometimes we have events here. Again, we took the long way around. You can get down from the train station and drop down. Okay, so we're heading back to the Footer Dye building. As you can see, this is an example of a canal boat. That's just fantastic, well preserved. And usually the gate, they put that gate down and you can have a better look into it. Again, we have some events that they do here sometimes in the summer. The Fairfield Hotel is right here, and you can bring your bikes. If you're a biker, they have a clean station there too. So right there's the Fairfield Hotel. Great biking trail, for a short trip with the family. If you're not avid cyclists and you just want to get, 4, 5, 8 miles in, this is great. So on this side, you go, it's pretty much flat all the way to the industrial complex. You see some turtles bathing in the sun. Check out the canal, and some parts you can see the Potomac River on your right hand side, and you just go out and back, which is a great ride. So some nice luxury apartments at the top of this. Much different from what it originally used to be. If you look at pictures, they have the size of that building, almost 3 of them as big as this place. Right there is Dig Deep microbrewery, and if you're on this tour with us, when we stop, we're going to end there, and we'll taste some of their local stuff. So again, I'm so glad you guys are checking out Cumberland with us. I'm glad you guys are visiting. We're not experts with the dates, so don't shoot us. We're just more interested in the story, and we want to show you our beautiful town. So thanks for checking us out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Give us a call if you just want to talk shop, and we hope to see you guys out there. Thank you.